Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Amalgam Ash, and today I want to show you how to set up tank controls in Smile Game Builder. What are tank controls? Tank controls are a control system used in video games whereby players control movement relative to the position of the player character, rather than the perspective of the game camera. That didn't help at all, did it? Basically, if you press up on a controller, you'll usually move away from the camera in the direction that you're facing, and if you press down, you'll move towards the camera. But if you press left and right, you'll walk to the left and walk to the right. Well, with tank controls in a third-person context, up and down basically do the same thing, but now left and right will rotate the camera, so you'll always have to move forward if you want to move at all, or backwards, I suppose. So how do we set up tank controls? Well, we're going to need to set up key press listens first. That means we're going to need to set up a common event that is automatically started, synchronized, and repeated. We'll use an advanced variable box op event panel, and just like in my video for key press listens, we'll set up the key presses for up, down, left, and right. You don't have to set up the rest of these key presses, I just have them there for a separate project. Now whenever the player provides an input in the form of a key press, you can assign it to the variable that is named after it. So key input up will be assigned to the key press up variable in this case. Once you've set up your up, down, left, and right keys to be tracked and placed into variables, we've got one more common event that we're going to make. For this common event, you're going to need 3 sheets, and the leftmost sheet will have no conditions, and it must be on the left. It has to be the first event sheet. This sheet will be automatically start, synchronized, and repeated, and it will have one event panel, and the event panel will simply be enable player control. This will make more sense in just a minute. For page 2, you'll have the condition that the variable box key press right is equal to 1. This means that the player is pressing the right button and is activating this sheet. When that happens, the event, which is automatically started, synchronized, and repeated again, will disable the player control. And the third page of this is actually the same as the second, except it applies to key press left instead of key press right. Now in Smile Game Builder, event sheets will be triggered in order of right to left. That means that the engine is going to check for the conditions and apply them to sheet 3 before it applies them to sheet 2. And then it will do sheet 2 before it applies them to sheet 1. And then it will do them to sheet 1 if it can. If any of the event's conditions are true for one of these rightmost sheets, it will stop processing there. But since this event is synchronized and repeated, it will continue checking all of these over and over and over again, always stopping at the first one that it can execute. So if the player is pressing left or right, they're going to have their control disabled. But if they're not pressing left or right, their control is enabled. So what does this mean? This means that they will not be able to move left and right, but they will be able to move up. And you can still allow them to control their camera so that they can control the direction that they are moving in. Now it's up to you to change the character graphic in order to make them look more tank-like. What if we wanted to adjust the angle of that camera? That didn't look very tank game-like, did it? You can do that in 2 ways. You can change the camera default settings for the entire project, or you can do it per map. If you want to do it for the entire game, you can click on Edit Game Data, and under the Settings tab, there is a Camera tab. You can click that, and then click the Change for default camera settings in third-person view, or change the first-person view default camera settings. So if we change the third-person view, I can actually rotate the camera down, zoom in a little bit, press OK and apply. And this is looking a little bit more like a tank game, sort of. That's still really, really fast. That's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial, and I hope you find some inspiration from it. I'm going to make sure that the tank controls events get placed onto a map and get included with my new Smile Game Builder project that is going to have all of these tips, tricks, and tutorials embedded within it from which you can learn. All right, that's it for now. I hope you have a fantastic day. See you tomorrow. Until then,